Hey everyone, it's Lisa from the blog farmhouseonboone.com, and I am in my new farmhouse mudroom. So I believe whenever I showed you the tour of our place, I took you into this mudroom. Yes, I did. And I showed you the crazy windows. Well, I had a blog post collaboration that I had to do for my business, and I decided that I would bring you all into it and just show you some of the changes that I made. It's one of the first rooms that we tackled personally. Now, we did have somebody come and help us redo the floors, but this is a project that I did all on my own just to get it done. My vision for this mudroom is a place where kids can enter through the back door. The entrance is out to the back part of our property, which is the perfect place to play, and this sits off of our kitchen. So it's a really good place to come in, drop your coats and your gloves and your muddy shoes, and then go into the kitchen, and then not, straight into the living area, the bedrooms, all the places where you can really get dirty. So it's a really great place, and I was actually very sold on the place because of it. I really wanted a mudroom, some kind of room in the back of the house where you could do all of that. So when we first moved in, the floors had been painted years ago, and they definitely needed some new paint. So I first decided to paint the floors with some porch and floor paint. I decided to go with a dark color just because I want this room to be able to get dirty. It looks all pretty now, and we haven't moved in all of the coats and shoes, and so it will definitely look way messier than this. But the goal was to not do all white and light and bright in here, because this is a room that we're gonna use. We're gonna get dirty, there's gonna be mud all over the floor, there's gonna be kids just coming in from play. So for the windows, which I showed you in my video, they had stuck up a second layer of windows over the original windows, and it looks really strange. But a lot of you told me, actually, in my comment section of my tour, that was to block some of the drafts and to make this room a little bit more insulated and energy efficient. And so we can't really just take them down, especially right now. It's probably 20 degrees outside. So I decided to break up the really large wall by adding some curtains. Normally I like to do light colors, but this time I decided to dye some drop cloths with some navy blue RIT dye in order to have curtains, but when they get muddy at the bottoms, because they're going to, it won't show, and I don't have to wash them all the time. Now, of course, I'll have to wash them, but not near as often. And so it breaks up this large, weird wall of windows, and then also it can add some more heat and cooling savings, because this is not a very energy efficient room. It's actually really cold all the time. And so this will even add an extra layer of insulation. Now, a few things in this room I actually pulled out of our barn. So behind me, you will see the coat rack. I found those hooks. They are some aged brass hooks on clearance at Target, which was awesome find. And I actually screwed them into a piece of wood that I drug out of our barn. So I found it in there. There's a whole bunch of treasures, all kinds of stuff. And I thought that would be really pretty because it's a little bit aged and it just looks kind of rustic and nice. I also pulled an old chair out of the barn and painted it with a green color just to bring some more color into this room. And there's actually a few more of those that we could use in other places, but I wanted a place where you could put on your shoes or take a seat, whatever. I'm not sure how we'll use this room in the summer, but I know that I want it to be the kids' entrance. I also painted the trim, so the trim around the door and the French doors was painted brown, so I painted it a semi-gloss white. I also painted the door. So it was white, definitely in need of a little bit of attention, and so I painted the inside door a lovely blue, and then I added an orange wreath. I just really love the colors throughout this room. So the reason I put the wreath on the inside is because we'll be inside this area more than we'll be looking in, and also there's a screen door, and I definitely want to keep the back screen door because it's very functional, but you can't really see any wreaths. So I thought I would just bring it inside to add to the colors of this room. Now the shoe rack behind me, we already had this in our old house, and surprisingly enough, when we brought it in here, it actually fit completely perfectly. If we had custom made this for our mudroom, I don't think we would have made it a different size than it is right now. It's perfect. So I just used it pretty much in the same way that I used it in the other house. I brought in a few more wood crates that fit into some of the slots. I paired that with some black totes also, and we're just gonna fill up those with shoes and gloves and hats in the winter, probably swimsuits in the summer. We'll change things out seasonally so that this can be our go-to spot for when you wanna go outside. Whatever season it is, you can have everything you need to do that. So this coat rack's gonna be full of colorful coats and snow pants, and there's gonna be socks, gloves, and hats all shoved in these, and shoes. But for now it's looking pretty, and it really will function nicely to organize this mudroom for the whole family. All right, well that's it. That is how I made this mudroom more beautiful and updated and functional for our family. All right, well, thank you so much for watching this video. If you're brand new, please hit that subscribe button. We are currently, if you are totally new and don't know anything about this, restoring a century-old farmhouse. We've refinished the hardwoods. We're working on painting, and we're just trying to bring it back to its original glory. A lot more work to do, so if you want to follow along with that, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I also make 2 new videos every week on food from scratch, natural living, and a handmade home. Thank you so much for stopping by the farmhouse.